Math. Does the sound of that word make you anxious? How about for the kids in your life? Well, don't sweat it. We've got help for overcoming math anxiety. This is Dr. Nagrath. He's the founder of Elephant Learning, and he's here with all of the details on how he can help your child really thrive in math. So good to have you on Sonoran Living. How prevalent is mathematics anxiety in our country?
Well, almost half of first and second graders report having math anxiety, and 50% of all Americans.
That's a huge number. So you said, you know what, we need to tackle this. We need to do something about it. Talk about your own journey and why you decided to launch Elephant Learning.
Sure. At the bottom of the math anxiety, what we found was that it's a language gap. So 4 out of 5 students start kindergarten unprepared for the kindergarten curriculum. And the reason for that is because the kindergarten curriculum assumes that the student can count to 10. And for most parents, what that means is saying the numbers out loud, 1 through 10. But for kindergarten, what they mean is, can you give me 10 things? And the student's able to slide over 10 things and stop on 10. So this gap in understanding kind of gets larger over time. And so by 3rd grade, we start to see students that they just don't want to participate with mathematics.
And what is your career? You're in math.
Yeah.
So this is what you do, and you have 2 sons, and you said, I want to make sure I can get a handle on this.
When I started the program, my first son was on his way.
Yeah.
I have a PhD in math and computer science, and my only mission is to empower children with mathematics.
I love that. So the approach is a little bit different. You teach mathematics as language. That is very unique. Talk about how you do that, how you work that through for students.
Sure. The best way to describe it is to think about how you teach the students the colors. Okay. So when you're working with a 3-year-old, you might show them a red truck, a red ball, a whole bunch of red things, and then they infer from your language that red describes the color. And so like what we're doing is we're trying to describe the idea, and in this case it's the quantities and the operations, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. And the way we do that is we give them puzzles that when they solve, they are exhibiting the idea. So an example would be, give me 5 things, give me 4 more things, how many do I have now? Or we might say, here's 7 things, and we'll close the curtain and say, well, someone has come and taken away 4 things, how many do I have now? So they have to be able to do these things.
Absolutely. So this is an online program.
Correct.
And so I want to talk about the experience. What is this like for students? What is this like for parents to go through Elephant Learning?
Sure. The best way to describe it for the student is as a puzzle game. So we say think Angry Birds before mathematics.
Okay.
So we're not really trying to hide the fact that what they're doing is mathematics. So we call it a gamification. But for the parent, what we do is we give them reports on what the student is working on and how they can take the learning outside of the system, along with videos on what would be teacher training for how to teach mathematics as a language.
That's perfect. Talk about the success that you're seeing, the results you're seeing with Elephant Learning.
Well, on average, children in our system learn about 1.5 years of math over the course of 10 weeks when they use it just 30 minutes per week. We measure this all using this elephant age, which is kind of like your math age. What is the equivalent math that a student out in the world is doing that your student is doing? So if you have an elephant age of 9, that means that they're doing math that an average 9-year-old is doing.
And here's the great part, your son, who's 7, what is his elephant age?
Right now he's 8.4.
Wow, that is fantastic. What are parents sharing with you?
Well, a lot of parents come back and they tell us that their student has gone from hating mathematics to loving mathematics, and the reason for this is because they've gone from not understanding the teacher in the classroom to understanding it, and class is actually interesting when you can understand what's happening.
That's right, when you can raise your hand and be an active student, and it's all done in your home. It's an online-based program.
That's right.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Nagrath. We appreciate you and continued success to your sons. If you'd like to learn more about Elephant Learning, please jump online, visit the website elephantlearning.com.